what are sure to be two of the hotter tablets of the holiday season. This, of course, is the Kindle Fire. $199, just came out this week, and on its right is the Nook tablet. Two pretty affordable Android tablets from companies that are slightly better known for making ebook readers. These are their two major attempts to push into the tablet market. Immediately, aesthetically, some clear differences between the two. The Kindle Fire is kind of pretty straightforward looking rectangle tablet. Looks a lot like the BlackBerry Playbook. Word on the street is that it was actually made by the same OEM as the BlackBerry Playbook, using some very similar plans. This is the Nook tablet. Looks pretty different from anything else on the market, save of course for the Nook Color, which was its predecessor. It's kind of it's a bit of an upgrade to the Nook Color. The internals are certainly better. There are some slight differences to the exterior. It's a little bit lighter in terms of the actual color of the bezel. It's also about an ounce lighter than that as well. In terms of let's actually start both of these guys up. We'll show you some of the applications. Of course, one of the main functionalities here is reading. So we're gonna just open up a prose book on both of these devices. The reading, pretty similar experience. You can tap in the margins to go forward or back, or just do a swiping motion. If you just hit them, sometimes it'll come up. The Kindle isn't always as responsive as we would like it to be, unfortunately. Some more options. You can change the font. You can change the brightness on the Nook. You can hold down on either device on any word, and you can highlight it, look up the definition, things like that. These are all. This is all pretty standard in terms of e-reading. But since they've got these beautiful color screens, you can also do things like magazines, children's books, comic books. Take a look at a magazine. I've got Vanity Fair on here and Harper's Bazaar. The screens are pretty nice on both of these devices. There aren't too many major differences between the two of them, though the Nook does, for the most part, look a little bit brighter. Form factor, maybe not the most ideal for reading magazines with a lot of text on it, but both of these do pinch to zoom, so you can zoom in on the text on both of them as well. The reading functionality is a little bit nicer in terms of magazines, I would say, on the Nook, because it's actually got this page forward animation. So we're gonna actually let's take a look at a children's book on both of these devices. We're gonna look at Pop on the Kindle Fire, and it's looking like it's Pete the Cat on the Nook tablet. Again, the reading functionality pretty similar on children's books for both of these. It's just a simple page forward, which is you want. Well, we're at the end of that book. There we go. So you want a pretty simple reading experience when it comes to children's books. One of the nice things, though, that the Nook tablet has, it actually has a built-in microphone, so you can do this read and record functionality. So if you're like a parent and you're away, you can actually record narration on the book, which is a really nice added bonus. We're gonna exit out of here. And let's look at a comic book on each of these devices. One of the interesting distinctions between the two of them is actually which comic company each one of them decided to partner with. If you're a DC fan, you may want to stick with the Kindle. If you're a Marvel fan, it's all about the Nook. The reading experience is a little different here. The Kindle Fire actually took this panel by panel reading mode that you have in the Comixology app, which is actually my preferred way to read comics on a device like this. The Nook is much better for zooming. You can just pinch to zoom in and out, so you can look at the details on each page. It automatically goes back to the standard page format when you flip through, and it's also got this nice little preview pane right here. So a little bit of a trade-off on each of them, which is pretty much the case in with everything on these two devices. This is going to be a little hard to demonstrate in these two in this video right now, but if you want a better example of the difference in picture quality when you're streaming videos, do take a look at the text. We've got a nice image up there, which will show you that this is actually one of the big differences between these two devices, is that you've actually got HD quality video on the Nook right here. This is a lot choppier. You know, the motion doesn't render as well, and it's a lot harder to pick up some of the details on the Kindle Fire. So do take a look at that as well. I do want to show you there are some other differences in hardware. You know, as mentioned earlier, the Nook is the more expensive of the two devices. This one is $249. The Kindle Fire is $199. Part of the reason and the price difference is this actually this has some better internals. They both got 1 gigahertz dual core processors on it, but you've got more RAM on this device for one. This actually has a gig of RAM versus 512 on the Kindle Fire. And there are some places where you do notice a difference. You know, even something as simple as just launching an app on the two devices. So we're gonna launch up Angry Birds Rio on both of these at the same time. There you go. A slight difference in the speed on the two, but the Nook definitely does win for speed. Some of the other differences, you know, you can actually, if you take a quick look, this is the home screen for both of these devices. The UI is a little bit different. They're both running Android Gingerbread. Amazon has gone a lot further to actually skin the thing. So this is your home page. It looks like a bookshelf. The Nook, it looks a little bit more familiar for people who've used Android. You know, you've got some icons down here. If you bring this up, you've got this. Actually, the apps are organized in a way similar to the newsstand, but that's not a huge difference. You know, you can bring that layout on both of these devices. There are some other hardware differences. This one actually has 16 gigs of storage built in. The Kindle Fire, on the other hand, only has 8 gigs. It's a little tricky on that front. You know, as we mentioned in a story earlier this week, you can actually only use 1 gig on the Nook to store non-Barnes & Noble content. The other 12 that aren't used up by the OS are actually devoted to Barnes & Noble content. So side loading, you don't have a lot of space for that right now, but you do, on the other hand, have on the rear of the device a micro SD slot, so you can expand that even further. These are both out now.